Hi guys, Kim here. The sixth sun, the observer. So part of this sixth sun shift is having the personal authority to take us into observer mode, meaning that we shift into allowing the world to happen without us putting our own energy into shifting the external. Our own place is to be the dreamer, to utilize our energy in the gnosis that if we shift our own consciousness, then the mirror world shifts too. We have been programmed to access and thrive off drama. Gossip is a really good example of this. Gossip does not need to be true, it only has to have the effect of stimulating an emotion inside of us. The external mirror world will crumble as part of the sixth sun prophecy, and if we're not in the observer mode whilst watching this happen, then it will create drama for us, because the drama unfolding takes us into a reactive headspace rather than sitting in the headspace of observing the drama without needing to be emotional at all. It's the emotion that keys us in, attaches our energy to that which is occurring in the mirror world. I'm talking about keys here, so keys example are cheese, forms in which we can attach our energy to an event occurring in the mirror world. Drama, karma, dharma, it's up to you. Firstly, drama. Imagine for a second an appropriate drama response to, say, witnessing 9/11 occurring. The drama response might be, who can I tell? Who can I call to witness this experience and share the energy of it with? Who would be interested in this? Who would be scared by this? Could I possibly escalate that fear? Or even speculate with them the ramifications of this? So please remember, when you attach to drama, you're creating your own reality here, that the energy you put focus into will become your world, as you are a creator being. If you're watching the news and believing the spells that they're casting, then you're assisting them in creating a world that will be full of fear and full of fear choices. Ask yourself two questions. What would fear do, or what would love do? Then upon the revelation of asking self this question, take the action that most suits your individual energy imprint. But bear in mind, if they can make you believe that this is your future, then the more people that believe that to be true, then the more energy that particular path will get, and the stronger the signal will feel to you as you perceive it in the mirror world. Then karma. How do I get involved and change the course of this event occurring? Can I tap into it? Do I have friends in New York that I could call and tell them to leave New York? You could ask yourself how this response could possibly create karma for you. And the answer would be because you were interfering. Interesting, that word, as the word fear is slap bang in the middle of the word interfering. So you've taken it upon yourself to take the action that you've been not invited to take. They haven't called you from New York asking you, should I live in the city? In which case, you could have been invited into the drama. Currently, my stance on this, or somebody asking me that question, would be, well, how do you feel about it? I would hand the power back to them and get them to work within their own energy. Admittedly, during a crisis anyway, you're not going to be thinking, nor are you likely to take any advice, as my video yesterday described, because you are reactive, not responsive. Then thirdly, you've got dharma. So the implication of dharma is that there is a right and true way for each person to carry out their life in order to serve both themselves and others. Dharma is closely related to the concepts of duty and selfless service, or seva, and is therefore a fundamental principle of yoga, although it can be a challenging concept to grasp as it has no single word in English translation. A close adaptation is right way of living. This excerpt was taken from Yogapedia, linked below. This life is a minefield, continuously creating dramas and minds around us that we can either step into and yet create another bomb in our life, or we can choose to avoid. The problem is, it escalates to tempt us more to get involved, so it creeps up upon us, bringing the temptation for involvement even closer. An example of this might be, is the first bomb in the minefield could be somebody you know distantly having an experience. Then it happens to a friend of a friend. then it happens to a friend, then it happens to a family member, each time giving you the opportunity to key into the energy of it to get you involved. But if it's really happening in the mirror world, then who's to say you ever need to be involved, other than voicing a caring response? Oh, that's a shame, dear. It must be concerning for you. What are you going to do about it? It's an opportunity for them to respond with a request to ask you for advice, in which case, at that point, you have actually been invited in. So at least you're not going to create karma for yourself. Or you could choose dharma. So it's up to you and where you are in your own journey to choose if you wish to be of service at this point. No one is judging you but yourself. It may seem that the external world has expectations, but then are these really expectations, or are they just illusions? We need to shift our consciousness into being the observer so we can take our role in seeing this shift through. We're not going to be able to do it if we're continuously in a reactive state of self. I sometimes really ask myself if I'm being the observer in the creation of these videos. Surely I'm getting myself involved by making them, but then to counter that is I'm merely voicing my perspective as to how I deal with the Sixth Sun Awakening, or what my perspective is of it, or other helpful tools that I've discovered and used on my path. I'm not forcing other people to watch or listen or take required recommended actions. I'm just putting thoughts and ideas out there on how I walk my talk. If it helps, then good. If not, oh well, it's a shame. Maybe try another channel. This process we are all living through. It is a process. It's a wave and a pulse. We have opportunities to grow in our awareness. If we take these pulses and waves and utilize them to improve our own abilities to be self-responsible with care and attention and ethics. Judgment is a very difficult concept, but if we are truly just observing, then why would judgment be necessary at all? It is, after all, just a perception. You do not ever have to engage. Please remember that. Oh well, I'm going to leave it at that for now.